Alex Bowman is the latest victim of the next-gen car. He will miss Talladega this weekend due to concussion-like symptoms. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. I'm going to try to keep this video fairly short and sweet because there's not much more that needs to be said at this point, or at least there shouldn't be much more that needs to be said. Alex Bowman put out a statement earlier this afternoon. I'll just read it. After undergoing medical evaluation due to concussion-like symptoms, I will not be driving the number 48 Ally Chevrolet in Talladega. I'm disappointed, but know my health is the #1 priority. I'm committed to follow all medical guidance to ensure I can return to competition as soon as possible. Noah Gragson will drive the 48. We'll talk about Noah in a second. I don't know who's going to drive the 62, but honestly, I could care less at this point. This is the second playoff driver this season who's been knocked out of a race, who's been knocked out of a playoff race due to concussion-like symptoms. Kurt Busch wrecked at Pocono during qualifying and has missed every single race since. Now, he's one of the oldest drivers in the sport. He's a veteran. He'd taken a few pretty hard hits this year, so while the next gen and its inability to absorb impacts as well as its predecessor, that's been a key talking point, everyone agrees. You know, some looked at Kurt Busch's incident and said, well, hey, maybe that's a fluke. He is an older driver, yada, yada, yada. Now Alex Bowman, a younger driver, who sustained, I would call, one of the mildest impacts ever at Texas Motor Speedway this past weekend. Now he will miss. Here's the wreck that he sustained at Texas. Cuts a tire or something, slides up into the outside wall. That's nothing. That doesn't look like anything. Look at the in-car camera, head shakes, jarring. The drivers have been saying and saying and saying for months, all year long, that they're feeling more shock. They're feeling more of the impact. It's more like hitting your head into a brick wall as opposed to hitting your head into a bed of pillows. They're feeling the brick wall. But that doesn't look like much of anything. It really doesn't. Now, Jeff Gluck, reporter, retweeted one of his tweets from the race this past Sunday where he kind of relayed one of Bowman's radio transmissions. Here's what Bowman said on the radio immediately after that crash. I don't understand how this thing is still rolling. That's the hardest I've crashed anything in my entire life. And the spotter radioed, you just hitting the worst spot on these cars, bud. We have a problem. Houston, we've got a major issue here. Again, there's not much to say that hasn't already been said. NASCAR has to fix these cars. It's on them. They designed them. Yeah, they're in a tough spot now, but it's a tough spot of their own doing. These cars are unacceptable and in their current state should not be allowed on the racetrack in 2023. 2 different playoff drivers knocked out of playoff races due to a similar head injury. It's unacceptable. And NASCAR is in a tough spot because you can't cancel the season. You can't cancel Talladega this weekend. I know they're working on solutions behind the scenes, solutions that hopefully can be implemented in time for next season, but by golly, I sure hope they are not cutting any corners. The rear impacts on these cars are unacceptable. I think I know now why Eric Jones tweeted what he did to Ty Gibbs at 3 a.m. He wasn't mad about the disrespect of being bumped under caution. He was probably worried about getting hurt. That's why he told Ty Gibbs, don't ever bump me under yellow again. This is ridiculous that an impact like that could lead to a driver missing a race. The next gen has problems. You can't deny it at this point. It does. It does not absorb rear impacts nearly as well as the Gen 6 or the Gen 5 or probably even the Gen 4. How NASCAR messed up the design this badly, I don't know. I'm not smart enough to understand, but it's a big mistake and they need to spare no expense fixing it. Because old drivers sustaining concussions, that's bad, but you can chalk it up to older age. A younger driver like Alex Bowman, unacceptable. Unacceptable. You have drivers like Gragson, who's my age, 23, 24 years old, saying this to reporters after a race win.
What do you see in the race for calling? Given what you did today, that's just going to be, shall I say, ice cream on the cake?
No, I don't want to wreck and hurt myself.
What?
I want to focus on the Xfinity playoffs and don't want to wreck one of the Cup cars. They hurt really hard when you wreck, and so just need to stay out of trouble tomorrow and not wreck.
He's terrified. Listen to it in his voice. And he's ironically filling in for Alex Bowman. He's probably not happy about that. He's terrified to wreck one of these cars. Noah Gragson, one of the most bullish, most aggressive race car drivers on the circuit. He's terrified of these things. Some of y'all may think I'm overreacting, but this is 2 playoff drivers out. Now, due to head injuries sustained in mild crashes with this new car, that's a problem that needs to be fixed. I sound like a broken record at this point. NASCAR is in a tough spot, no doubt about it, but it's a tough spot of their own making. Do not cut corners making fixes. Going back to the Gen 6 is not a realistic possibility. Teams have removed almost all their inventory at this point. That's not happening. Running Xfinity cars in Cup. Maybe that's more realistic, but I don't think that's happening either. You're stuck with this basic platform. You have to make modifications to it now, major modifications. Do everything and anything you possibly can to cushion the rear impacts. NASCAR did make some small changes to the front rear clips before this season. We need major changes before next season. I've been saying it for a few months now, but this needs to be the highest priority. This is supposed to be the car of the present and the future, right? This is a long-term investment, right? You can't have it knocking young drivers out of playoff races. That's just unacceptable. Of course, I want to wish Alex Bowman the very best. I hope he's able to come back at 100% sooner rather than later. Regarding his points position, he entered this weekend 12th on the playoff grid. He was already almost in a must-win situation, so assuming he comes back for the Charlotte Roval, I mean, that points position's likely not going to change, and that's if he comes back for the Roval. There's no guarantee he comes back next week. Kurt Busch has been out for months. Spare no expense trying to fix it in time for 2023. That's all I can do, is just continue to amplify this message as I've been for a few months now. Hopefully, eventually it starts to make a difference. Anyway, share your thoughts down in the comment section below. This is a disappointing video, a disappointing day. Still looking forward to Talladega, but like I said, God, now I'm actually worried for the safety and security of the competitors. I haven't genuinely felt that way in a while. Share your thoughts down in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button for more NASCAR content. I'll be at Talladega, so we'll have lots of stuff coming out of there here very, very soon. Big thank you to my Patreon supporters. Truly appreciate you guys keeping this show growing each and every month. I really appreciate it. I was in the middle of working on a video for tomorrow when all this broke, so you'll see that tomorrow. Got some fun stuff to talk about in that one. Sorry this one was a bit of a downer, but it's bad news. Wishing the best to Alex Bowman. Hope everyone's safe Sunday afternoon. I'll see you guys real soon.